Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine is a game that has taken the internet by storm, and with it came the explosive growth of its speedrunning community. It's a game that'll have you saying,
"That's what I've been waiting for! That's what it's all about!"
every time you play, so that's why I decided to speedrun the 90% category of the game for 3 days to see just how fast I could beat it. On day 1, I came into this game blind. All I knew was that the world record for completing the game was about 17 seconds. I decided to play through the game casually to get a feel for it. In short, Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine is a 3D platformer where you control Mr. Krabs to beat up enemies, collect and deliver ketamine, and meet iconic SpongeBob characters like the man himself, Patrick, Squidward, and Sandy before taking down Plankton in a final fight. But, as I quickly learned, the speedrun actually skips a lot of this, so let's walk through the route to see how it works. After the starting screen, we obtain control of Mr. Krabs. We can use this boat at the beginning to travel to this corner of the building near the chump bucket. Whenever you leave a boat in this game, Mr. Krabs gets placed on the left side of it. We can use this to clip into the wall where a key lies. This key is necessary to access the final fight, so we pick it up and make our way down the hall as fast as we can. A good run here dodges these chump bucket minions and uses ketamine instantly when picked up to speed up our movement. When we reach the other side, we get teleported to the final boss room, and after a short cutscene, our run ends as soon as the play coin toss button appears. And that's the speedrun for Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine. It's a short one, but there's lots of room for optimization as we'll see in later days. But for our first day, I think we gained a lot of useful information, so I called it there. Let's see what the second day had in store. On day 2, I was determined to set a decent time using the strategies I learned the previous day. I realized we could go even faster by grabbing this ketamine bottle at the beginning and popping it before entering the boat. This increases our speed while driving and walking around. This ultimately led to the run you're seeing. It's not a perfect run by any means, but it shows a lot of ways a run can go wrong. I crashed into many obstacles along the way, and sometimes the placement of enemies wasn't great for me. But it ended up being around a 27-second run, which was a decent time, but as I continued to grind for a better one, my mind was cluttered with ideas like, can I go faster? Is the key avoidable? Can we clip into the final boss area? Could we drop it from the top to access the area if not from the side? Is there a way to warp into the area instead? I labbed things out for a bit, but unfortunately, there wasn't much progress as I discovered that the final area is covered with many invisible boundaries that prevent you from getting too close. Trying to clip in from the intended direction leads to a soft lock too. I did, however, discover a way to make Mr. Krabs rave like this. To our dismay, it seems that grabbing the key and maneuvering to the door is necessary to complete the run. But there was a light at the end of the tunnel. After watching Drippin, the world record holder, attempt the run, I learned that to get an insane time, I'd have to use this trick where you climb onto a boat to make it flip out like this. With a good run, you can clip into the room with the key and skip a lot of driving time. Excited to try it for myself, I made my first attempt and this is what I got. From that point on, I knew this would become our ticket to a great run, but trying to get this trick down seemed like it would take me some time. So I ended my attempts shortly after and did some research to prepare me for the last day. Day 3 rolled around and my brain was full of speedrun knowledge. Not only did I extensively study the world record's inputs, I headed over to the official Discord server and learned a good setup for somewhat consistent runs. Shoutouts to Radix Smash for sharing this. I'll run through the process real quick. So as soon as you click play, you want to run over to the boat and position yourself slightly to the right of the bottom right corner of the boat. Make sure that your camera is positioned so that you see all 3 plants on this rock, with the far left one being about halfway cut off. Then press Z to slow down time, climb onto the boat, and as soon as you see the boat freaking out, press Z again. At this point, all we can do is hope we clip into the room with the key, since this is all RNG. Then, a last sprint to the end with optimal ketamine usage finishes the run. With that in mind, it was about time for me to make some attempts. So I did. Over and over. For hours. And what did I achieve? Well, I found ways to leave the boundary of the map by doing the glitch. I also hit a couple of good clips that seemed to be going in the right direction, but they never amounted to much. The run you're seeing right now is a really close attempt though. Oh, and I managed to clip into the final boss room behind Plankton and climbed into his— wait. That's not safe for YouTube. We'll just have to leave this part a mystery. But nothing seemed to be working. I put in so many attempts, and I felt like I was getting so close that I could almost taste the run coming. I was about to give up and call it a day, but I wanted to give it a few more attempts for good measure. And during those runs, this happened. I hit the clip and I was so shocked afterward that I forgot how to play the rest of the game. I grabbed the key after floundering for a while and made my mad dash to the end. I was so shaky that I failed to even grab any ketamine bottles and crashed into many chum minions and kelp along the way, losing a lot of time. But with good perseverance, we finally made it to the end, and the final time we obtained was around a 26-second run. It was honestly a rush, and getting this attempt only made me want to do more. Before I got the trick, I doubted whether the warp was actually even possible, but getting it after so long was an incredible feeling. Even though the time itself wasn't great, I can say I completed Mr. Krabs Overdoses on ketamine with a pretty cool technique. I did do some more attempts after because I was on such a high, but nothing really came of it. And that, my friends, concludes my 3 days of speedrunning Mr. Krabs Overdoses on ketamine. While the results weren't exactly what I expected, I think Mr. Krabs Overdoses on ketamine is a cool game to speedrun, and I was happy to experience the book clip for myself. It's super short, and even if you're not interested in the speedrun, the game is free, so you're not losing out on much by trying it. I'll leave a link to the game and other resources for speedrunning if you're interested in the description below. Overall, I enjoyed my time with the game, but my hand did cramp up a little from grinding out those attempts. So remember to take care of yourself, or else you might end up like Mr. Krabs here. Thanks for watching.